But in the meantime, shout out to Mr. Legacy Brand himself, Mr. Clarence Brockett, for putting this on tonight and for having us, thinking that we are valuable for this conversation. And thank you to Miss Neffy of Neff Level Planning and Events, as she is coordinating this entire space. So we thank God for her. And we just want to get this thing started. So what I like to do is to have everybody introduce themselves. So please give us your name, your business name, and what exactly it is that you do. Whoever want to go first.
So,
Okay.
January 1st will be 5 years that we've been in business. We're not just your typical home health agency. We service individuals with developmental disabilities such as autism, Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, any type of intellectual disability. So we hire HHA, CNAs, RNs, LPNs, any type of home health needs that you have. We are here to provide those services. So I'm Michelle Scott of Passionate Care Services.
All right. That's a business.
Hello, my name is Ashley Walker. I'm the CEO and founder of Smoothie Me Please. We are a beachside smoothie cafe in Riviera Beach, and we primarily service menu items such as smoothies, acai bowls, soup salads, and all good things for your tummy.
I've gone. Please get a lunch special. It's great.
Hey guys, my name is Lamara Davis, and I am the owner of Ainka's Jewels. It is a women's jewelry brand that caters to tarnish-free, 18 gold-plated jewelry for the modern woman on the go. I am also a stylist, helping men and women build everyday confidence through what they wear.
Hey, y'all, good evening. My name is Troy Patrick. I'm a real estate advisor here, helping families create generational wealth. And I also on the Talk TP podcast, where I host a podcast, helping families talk about real estate, create generational wealth through real estate, finances, and all good things. And also talking with innovators in the city and community to move the culture forward.
All right. Well, shout out to all of you wonderful people doing wonderful things. I know we are missing one panelist. I know that he is on his way, so he will join us shortly. In the meantime, just to give you all a reminder of how I kind of like to flow, I like to do generalized questions, but then I also like to do individual questions. As every black funeral tells you, you got 2 minutes. All right? Don't get out here expounding, giving your full testimony and everything. We only got a limited amount of time, though we are excited for the wisdom that y'all will share. We got to keep it limited. We got to keep it condensed a little bit. But first things first, my first question to you all is, last time we talked a lot about legacy, and this time I kind of want to focus on cultivation. So cultivation is defined as the process of acquiring or developing a quality or skill. And so this question is open to all of you. What quality or skill do you focus on cultivating through your business?
My biggest focus on quality of skill would have to be resources. Ever since I started this business, one of the biggest things that I come to find out that a lot of individuals in our community don't know the resources that they have for individuals with special needs. So that's one of the things that I tend to acquire to get extra training on, to kind of preach to our community that there are some resources out there for us to help us in our homes. A lot of our individuals with families with special needs, they struggle a lot with trying to find out daycare, schools, any type of particular caregivers with the special training that they need. So mine would have to be resources and also dependability, because they need caregivers to be dependable as well. So those are the two that I would say that's most important for my particular work.
I'll go. As an entrepreneur, if I have to think about, as a CEO, what am I doing? What skill am I cultivating to make me a better CEO? I'm going to go deep, so come with me. I would have to say it's the ability to discern God's voice, right? And so you get pulled so many different ways. And the better that I align myself with the divine, the better of a CEO I am. Because people will tell you all types of things that they have no knowledge about. And I am the decision maker for my brand. And when I win is on me, and when I lose is on me. And so it's very imperative that I'm in alignment to my spiritual guidance, so that I can make the best decision for my team.
I guess I'll go next. One of my biggest skills is I call it to remain in student posture, to always be willing to learn and listen to people around you, young, old, in between, and also to just always be willing to take in new knowledge. Because I think sometimes you can think that, oh, I've made it, or I got a lot of information, but you don't. And there's always someone that has information that you can take at least a bit of it and do your own research for sure.
Good already. Okay.
I would say mine is educating the community, and public speaking. So I want to get better with public speaking so I can be able to host bigger seminars within the community with regarding home ownership and financial literacy.
Thank you for these. These are all great answers. And I think something that you said, Ashley, that was key was the fact that everyone, all of you, honestly, are CEOs and founders. All of you are the pillar in creating the spaces and the businesses that you all have. So, what has that CEO founder journey kind of been for you all?
A effing circus.
I think that sums it up. It's definitely a roller coaster. It's a good feeling at the same time, but it's a heavy weight on our shoulders. Also, a lot of individuals depend on us. We have to make decisions that not only affect us, but the business as well. So I feel that it's a big title, big responsibility, but at the same time, it's a rewarding position to be in.
You might want to repeat it for Enol.
Well, yes. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, brother. Hey, brother.
Yes, yes. Welcome to the party. Welcome to the party. If you don't mind, please give us your name, your business name, and what exactly it is that you do.
First name is Enoch Gillis.
First name is Enol Gillis.
First name is Enoch. Well, my name is Enoch Gillis. I'm a general contractor and realtor. I cover the Florida area. That's pretty much it for now. I've been doing it for a while now. At one time, I was the youngest general contractor in South Florida for real estate. I work with a lot of pro athletes and
It's really big money people up here. So let me just sit nicely because y'all got some wealth. What would you all say to young entrepreneurs, young CEOs, young business owners? What would probably be the top two things you would kind of remind them of or encourage them about, especially with you all having a few years in the business? Well, not a few, but a lot of years in your businesses.
I can go with this one. One of the biggest things that I think that I've learned is to be careful who you share your dreams with. So there have been some people that I have shared information with, whether close in proximity or far in proximity, that did not speak life into what I was saying to them, and they could have killed that dream if I didn't have the faith that I have. So I've really learned that not everyone is who you're supposed to share your dreams or your visions with, and they're to be protected, like in a lockbox. So that's what I would share.
For a young person, and this goes far back before they even determine whether they want to be a leader, business owner, or entrepreneur, I would say get some exposure. Get out of your city, make some friends who don't live where you live. They don't eat what you eat. They don't view religion the way you view religion. Go see some other things from a different point of view from where you are. Get out, go see some things. And because that allows you to dream bigger, see the world in a different place. Because I know that the kids in Riviera Beach, they can only see so far because they haven't been anywhere. So it's a duty for people to take those kids and give them some exposure. So to all young people, go get some exposure.
I would say, whatever lane you want to jump in or whatever you want to be, I would say find somebody that's doing what you're doing and get a mentor. Find somebody that's doing what you're doing, who's already been through the learning curves, who can shorten your learning curve and avoid a bunch of headaches or whatever. But put in the reps, even if the reps gonna be free. Sometimes you can't get paid for everything you do, but get the education first. Don't worry about the money. The bag gonna always be there. But once you get that education, they can't take that from you.
I would have to say procrastination. That was one of the things I always preached to my daughter, and the same for me. I procrastinated a lot. I think that I always knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur, but I was afraid to step out on faith. I procrastinated a lot, and I think it didn't set me back, but I think I could be further along than where I am right now if I wouldn't have procrastinated.
Those are some good answers, by the way. I think currently, since they already spoke, I think the biggest problem, and you said younger generation, is just using our technology positively and not consuming the wrong information. A lot of them are consuming a lot of things that are not helping us. It's okay to have fun. You know, we all have that scroll. We get lost in ourselves scrolling on social media and stuff like that. But at a time like this, they can learn how to trade stock at whatever age they really want to if they really want to do it. Instead of getting lost in all this crazy stuff online, I think a lot of these younger folks need to just go on there and look up things that actually benefit us. We're already behind as a people. I don't think we have any more time to waste on social media and getting sucked into the trap, myself included. We all been there, but I just preach this to my kids a lot. So I think using the technology and taking advantage of YouTube and all the free information that's out right now. We didn't have that back then.
Definitely didn't.
I think that's the biggest thing, access. I think we forget how much access we really have. And that's why it was important, and I can speak for Clarence and Effie and I as we kind of prepare for this conversation to really not just tap into those that are our peers, but those that we can kind of look to for more information and more guidance, because we have access to you all. You know, it's different if you created a business or a brand in your city and then you left. But you all are here, you all are prominent, you all are doing great things. And so it would be a disservice to us to not communicate with you guys to kind of get information and encouragement on how you all have been doing what you've been doing so that we can continue.
And to feed off what you said, when I came into this Palm Beach County entrepreneur scene in 2014, it was none of this. It wasn't people in the same building. It was none of this. It was none of this. I had a list. All right, these girls doing this, they doing this. I wrote the list down. Keisha was on the list. I got to go meet Keisha. I got to meet Trinette. I got to meet her, because they were the movers and shakers when I came in. And you couldn't roll up on them. Like, you didn't have access to them. You had to be like, hey, y'all going there? Can I come? You know, that's what, but that grassroots work made my network strong. So the access, that's a cheat code right now.
Thank you all for that wisdom. Something I thought about, and I know it's a question that I had. Did you all understand the value of what you could bring to your community in the beginning, or was it kind of understood down the line?
Y'all know I could talk all day. So
I
get off.
definitely down the line. When you start realizing, like me, I was able to go away a little bit. I was able to go away to college a little bit. So just bringing a lot of that knowledge back to people here, things that you don't see when I think you said you have to get outside of your radius a little bit. So you didn't realize that we were gaining knowledge while we were there. But when we came back home, and when you lock in and study something and you come back and bring it to people, you realize that, dang, you guys don't even know this. Like, so I think, and that's happening every day, man. Shout out to my cousin. I have a young cousin right there. He was convicted felon at a time, and now he has his pest control certification. So just it's all about so much of my cousins, man. I have another one that just became a realtor, convicted felon, and it's just about showing these guys that it's possible, man. Showing everybody it's possible and not tapping out, man. I think we're able to show them that.
So for me, I'm a rep my city, y'all. We from the same hood, so coming from Riviera Beach, when I look around to all of my friends, like they haven't made it to a certain level of success, or they kind of got lost in what was going on. And I think about how easily that could have been me every day. We grew up in the same streets, right? And so I was lucky enough to have someone come snatch me up. Shout out to Mr. Brown, Charges on the Marching Band. Snatch me up and change my life. And so I have a personal obligation to do that same thing for my community. So I don't take it lightly, because one person gave me one opportunity that changed my whole life. So it's another me in my community. It's a couple of me. If I could just get 5 of them, it's a whole new city, So that's my thing.
I would say for myself, the value in the beginning, I did not, and I'm going to be honest, I did not know how much value I would contribute just by starting this business, not only with families, but with caregivers, how many job opportunities that I'm able to open up for our community. All the families that I sit down, we cry together, we laugh together. These families, I'm almost like a therapist sometimes speaking with them. So I've had parents call me and thank me so much. even the caregivers making a difference, just putting food on their table by allowing them to be able to bring in some income for their kids. So I think it didn't come in the beginning. It was more towards a couple years after I was already in business, and I realized, like, wow, this is definitely it. This is my niche. This is my calling.
So when I first started, absolutely not. I was just kind of like in that whole entrepreneur realm. But as the years have progressed, I've realized how important community is. So I think like to date, I probably partnered with like 5 or 6 nonprofits, but definitely partnering with like nonprofits, especially Black nonprofits or women nonprofits that help like women and moms is a place that I like to be. So really understanding the value that you add when as a business you can create a partnership with other nonprofits has been a big like part that I really take a lot of pride in.
I would say I definitely didn't understand what my impact would be when I first started in real estate. But as I began to self-educate and go to these conferences and sell houses, I began to see my impact. When I'm seeing my clients in the store and they're like, "Boy, God used you, boy. God used you to get that house." Like, you know what I'm saying? And you don't understand that when you're in front of 50 people on a Saturday morning teaching first-time home buyer courses, and now you watch them people sit in those very chairs before you, but now you're sitting with them at the closing table. That's impact, you know what I'm saying? And that's where the beginning of generational wealth starts. So yeah, I didn't see it at first, but I do now.
Seeing the outcome, that's what it sounds like. Really kind of seeing the outcome and what it is that you produce and how it, what fruit it produces for other people. So thank you all for those. I like to do my research on people. I didn't get too personal with y'all. I wasn't trying to be in nobody's business, but I did do my research. Heads up to all my older panelists who will be on later on. Y'all know I like to be up in y'all Facebook posts and accomplishments and whatnot. So I'm gonna start off with you, and please correct me if I say this wrong. Eno, got it. Trust and credibility are 2 qualities that your business has. So how important are these qualities when developing and sustaining your business?
Definitely trust. All of us, we deal with personal people's information. We deal with sensitive information sometimes, things that are personal. You find out insurance claims, and you have to keep people's stuff confidential. Credibility, that goes when you study, when you get confident studying what you do. Once you start educating yourself more, you start realizing when you're giving people advice, and you start noticing that, let's say you walk into a home and you're able to give them a different direction of what's going on and give them a solution. Credibility.
Absolutely. Well, you answered it very well. That was good. Don't worry.
You
I get
do
a little
this,
deep,
bro.
but I ain't
You
trying to
do
get
this.
too deep today. And then Miss Michelle, I know for you with your business, your name in it is passion. And I know that with credibility, there has to be a level of passion in that to not only just love what you do, but know what you do as well. So how do you remain passionate within that field without kind of not forgetting about yourself in the same process? Because a lot of what you do is to make sure that those around you are educated, they're supported, they have their resources. So how do you find a balance between passion for people, but also not forgetting you in the same process?
That's tough. That's very hard in this business because it is very demanding, to be honest, on myself. Yeah. I have to always step in. We're a 24-hour business, so if an aide can't step in and fulfill the service, I have to come in if we don't have anybody on call. But I try to find that balance some kind of way. It's hard to really explain it because I put so much into it, but just being able to be well-rounded, with the clients, make time for them, make time for my personal life, make time for my children, set schedules, set boundaries. That's the main thing. I have 2 cell phones, so one is work, one is personal. One goes off, but at the same time, we still have to be there to answer in the event of emergency. So I think the main thing is just setting boundaries and setting schedules at the same time.
Thank you for that. Emphasis on setting boundaries, and that was the topic of
That was
the
my
year
word
today.
for 2022.
Shout out to Neffy and Ty. But yes, that was definitely a conversation for this year for sure. So thank you for mentioning that. Speaking of credibility, Miss Lamara, you've been
Thought
in
she was
this
coming over here. I know.
business, right? I'm going a lot out of order. You've been in the business of just retail and fashion and everything, to my knowledge, for over 15 years. So how has that added credibility to what it is that you do, and how do you kind of not harp so much on your experiences, but really know like you're built for this, like you are made for what exactly it is that you're supposed to do?
Well, I started working in retail when I was 15. So my first job was on Worth Avenue at Ralph Lauren. And I was exposed to a level of service and experience like none other. So like I'm talking like $15,000 skirts, $20,000 dresses. So it was a whole nother world. And I think that you have to have a passion for what you do to be able to just keep going. So I probably worked in every retail store. I've managed retail stores. I've been a buyer for stores, and I still show up and I still love it. And that's pretty much when I tell God, I'm like, God, like it's not over because I still love it. And I think the biggest thing is being able to deliver service and an experience to people that can make them smile. We live in a world where service isn't something that's guaranteed anymore. You're lucky if you get good service. But I think that when people do get good service, it makes them continuously come back to you and to be able to educate people on what good service looks like. Because I've seen good service and I know good service and I expect good service. So I think like all of that kind of wrapped in, I just know it's like, it's still my thing. So I still just love that. Like I'm passionate about that.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for that. That your passion never really dies, and if it does kind of fan out, you have the opportunity to kind of reflame the flame. Yes. Yes. Miss Ashley. What is one fulfilling as well as one challenging thing about owning your own business?
The most fulfilling thing is understanding that when I was 6 months pregnant in my mama back room, crying and sad, I brainstormed. I jotted down. I doodled. I drew logo, And the interesting part, my first phone call to make a website was to Enol. Do you remember that? That's 2014. He designed my first website, so that's pretty cool.
What have you not done?
I'm like, I'm gonna start a business, bro. And so that's pretty interesting. But to see that something that came out of my brand is real. I mean, my brain is a brand and is real. And it's people out there willing to sit at a table with me and pay me crazy money for something that came out of my brain. You crazy. You mess around and let me understand that if I just starve my distractions and buckle down and get some discipline, that something can come out of my brain that's worth a lot of money. That's the most fulfilling thing. So to see my restaurant come to fruition, and not even just that, but to know that we're getting ready to expand, and it's people like, no, we want that. We want that. We want exactly that. And you calling me and you asking me, like, is this the right color? Is this the right tone? Is bussin' the right way that it's supposed, like, that's correct, like, that's a feeling, like, I thought of this. Yeah. Challenging, the biggest challenge, I would say that it doesn't matter how much you love people, how much you want people to be a part of the process, everybody can't go. Everybody can't go, And it could be the closest to you. It could be your mama. It could be your daddy. It could be people you really, really love. Like people who you want to experience this journey. Because it's gonna be good. It's about to go crazy. So you want them to be a part of it, but jealousy, envy, entitlement, all of those things become a part, and it just makes for a relationship that's just not pure. And as much as you love them, you will taint your success by trying to stay attached to those people. So you got to learn. The quicker you learn how to snip them off, the quicker you could go to where you're supposed to go. And it hurts. It's not funny. It's not cool. It'll gut you.
The doors of the church are open, everybody. At this point, that's all we needed. That was it. Wow.
I got my badges.
I
ain't talking about from what nobody told me,
Correct. Because nobody says that. Everybody talks about, the beauty in entrepreneurship and how fulfilling it is to have your own stuff and just great things about business, but it costs you something. And people really don't talk about the gravity of what it costs you, what you have to sacrifice, like everything that you have to submit to. And a lot of people look at your accolades and look at your resume, they look at what you do, where you are, and they're just saying, oh, it's peaches and cream. Like you said, I'm in the room crying. Y'all don't know that. Y'all don't see that. But everybody sees, your winning seasons. They see you out in the limelight. So I'm glad that you mentioned that. You also said something about starving your distractions. Can you expound on that, please?
Oh man, when you set that goal, you got to cut that TV off. You got to cut that music off. You got to cut that phone on Do Not Disturb at 7:30. You know what I'm saying? You got to get that meal prep together. You gotta get them books out. You gotta get your study sessions going. And I'm talking about start everything. Like put everybody on notice. If it ain't an emergency, don't call me. And you just gotta focus on. You gotta, if you read the Bible, that's your thing. Whatever your spirit, with your spirituality, do that. Do those things for as long as it takes. To convince the universe about what you want.
Yes.
So you do it until the universe understands. Because if you playing and you BSing, that's what you're gonna get. But if you show it like this, what I'm doing, and that's what you're gonna get.
So you will reap. That's just the motto. That's the way of being. Wow. I might need to move my seat from you. I should never. Cause you talking.
Yeah.
Wow. Dang, real loud on this side of my ear, God. Screaming.
Convicting.
Dang. Wow. Troy. Talk to us about this podcast and how educating yourself allows you to educate those that you have the opportunity to speak to.
By educating
Shameless plug.
myself, I'm able to actually go out in front of the community, in front of my phone, and talk to not just people locally, but people in different countries, different states about what's going on in the real estate world. You know what I'm saying? And I'm reaching other people that I'm able to help and assist. Because everybody don't know the simplest thing. Somebody might not even know you can buy a house with a 500 credit score. You know what I'm saying? So just going and speaking on things like that and saying, yeah, you can buy it with a 500, it's going to cost you more, but you can do it. You know what I'm saying? Simple as that. So Talk with TP is basically a platform where we educate. I'm bringing on not just myself as realtors, but I'm bringing on other real estate agents, mortgage lenders, mortgage professionals, financial professionals. So it just won't be me providing and giving that educational content. My network will.
Troy,
So,
I think I saw
I'll
it.
be
Did you
reaching
bring
out.
on somebody who bought a house?
So no, my last episode was with my boy Rashad Jones Jennings, aka Shadzilla, in Atlanta. He built the first black tiny home community in Atlanta, and is now the 7th largest tiny home community in the U.S.
So I think I caught a clip and I was listening to, the story, like listening to people's story about their process. I was like, oh yeah,
His
got
process
it.
was
Yeah, so
crazy.
yeah.
Like his finance team pulled out of the deal the day before they closed. So now he had to raise an additional 250 grand in 6 days and get an extension to move forward with that transaction. It's a wild story. So check it out. Talk with TP on YouTube.
How many episodes are we at right now?
Well, right now I got 1 published and I got about 3 in the clip. So
Okay,
we got
okay.
1 that's dropping this Wednesday with Beethoven. So if y'all know Beethoven, the owner of Cafe Hub, he now owns a podcast space called Podcast Studio, Studio Plus in
Okay.
Riviera Beach. So that's crazy because he talked about how he lost everything and had to still provide value to his clients, and it was wild. So yeah, it's gonna be dropping this Wednesday.
Yeah, thank you for that. Congratulations on that as well.
Thank
You said something as well that said if you can't do it, your network will. And something that I've grown to learn is that you have to be surrounded by people who have net worth. You have to be connected to people who you can connect other people to, and it actually be a profitable experience. It be something, because at the end of the day, I'm representing you, you representing me. Right. So if somebody has a question for me and I say, well, go see Troy, and Troy handled them dirty, now I come back on me like, well, you sent me to Troy.
Right.
So it's like, I love that you mentioned your network and your community and the people that you have, closest to you in business. So how vital is that to all of you in just being CEOs and founders, or just being regular humans in Palm Beach County?
It's everything. Your network is your spine.
Yeah.
Like when I refer, I don't even play when I refer my clients to a mortgage lender. You don't have another chance to mess up. You know what I'm saying? Because I referred this client to you. This client is depending on my word that you gonna close this deal. Now, if they mess up, if the deal don't close because they did something wrong, that's cool. But if it's because you playing games and you ain't processing documents and stuff on time, now I look bad moving forward. So they gonna tell they people, oh nah, I've lost clients because of lenders. Like I've sent the client to a lender did them dirty. They blame me as well because you referred me. And now I'm looking on Facebook, just closed. Like, what? You didn't even tell, like, bucking your phone calls. But they really mad. You can't be mad. Your person you referred them to made you look bad. So your network is key in business. Like, I ain't saying cut them off when they do something wrong the first time. You had that conversation, but at the end of the day, like we ain't got too many time to fumble the ball.
Okay, okay.
I was gonna say, if you the smartest in the room, you're in the wrong room.
That's it.
You
That's
preach.
it. Just that simple.
I don't
Just
want
that
to be the
simple.
smartest in the room. Ever.
Don't ask me, please. On that.
Hey,
I'm
that's
trying
the
to learn. I'm
definition.
trying to
Who
soak
all
in.
gonna be there? Who all gonna be? Oh, no, I ain't
Straight up,
coming.
man.
Yeah, I don't wanna go.
I'm straight. I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm good. I'm gonna stay at home. I'm gonna see y'all. Man. Wow, that's beautiful. Thank you all for the wisdom and the just the insight that you all are providing tonight. Lamara and Ashley, you all are in businesses and fields that really matter to the Black community from the beginning of time. So jewelry, fashion, are we as Black people, we as Black women especially, I know we be focused on what we got on, how we look, if everything is color coordinated. When it comes to food, that's a staple in our community. Food matters. Who cooking the mac and cheese? Okay. Don't ask me to come if auntie making the mac and cheese, if it's raisins and potato salad. I don't want none of that. Or you got people, and I'm gonna have to shout out to Ken right now because I laughed when you said that you wanted to bring all your vegan dishes to Thanksgiving. Your family wasn't having them. I'm telling you, food is important to us. So in your experiences with your fields, how are you just cultivating a new narrative within the Black community or sustaining one that we've already kind of had for the longest?
Okay, so one of my goals with Ainka's Jewels has always been to make sure that I always present Black women and women of color in a chic and contemporary way. So why that's important to me is because when you look at a lot of ads, they are very kind of specific in how they either dress or style Black women. They always either have one extreme or the other extreme, but you never really see the modern Black put together woman that is classy, contemporary, chic. We all have our own lane, but it's like they miss this lane. So I always want to make sure that I present Black women and women of color in a way with jewelry, which is something that is very familiar to us all the way back to Africa, in a way that looks classy, it looks upscale, it looks elevated, because I got sick and tired of never seeing us represented that way. So that's been a very key point in every single, how I style them, how we dress, how everything is put together. I always want it to be elevated because we never get that look. Absolutely. In my opinion. When you look at the big brands, they kind of miss us.
As far as food goes, we all know that food carries a culture and a community, right? And you can identify a group of people by the food that's being served, right? And so Smoothie Me Please sits on the corner of Broadway and Blue Heron and Riviera Beach, and we take pride in saying that we introduce foods like spirulina, matcha, ashwagandha, acai berries. My community had never heard of stuff like that. And so, you know, those food items are no-brainers in other communities. Right. So my first, year, my elders coming up like, baby, I don't even know what a smoothie is, And they, this ice cream is dairy, is it? No, baby, it's just fruit blended up with ice. All right, I trust you. I'll try one. So it's, it was a lot of education that went with it. And I take pride, in that. So now, I'll have the CEO of a yacht company next to my dope boys, next to my this and my that. And they, hey, give me one of them little, them purple berry, them, like, what that, and it's beautiful. Like, when I created it, to see that dynamic, if you know the dichotomy of Riviera Beach, you have that tourism, that wealthy, and you have that impoverished West Side. But to see it, everybody standing together in front of my shop is like, God did, like it's a beautiful thing. So we take pride in the food ingredients and the things that we offer. And our goal is just to have our community make one healthy decision at a time. We know, how hard it is to, first, the economy is, in a circus. So just one, less sweetener, less salt, less butter, fresh, spinach, fresh this, fresh that. So that's what we on that corner doing. We just, asking people to make healthy decisions.
Hey, them dope boys, days
Piggyback
number.
off of what she said, and I got to give my girl her flowers while she's here. That was one of my favorite spots. That's a historic spot. And you definitely came in and made a difference in the community. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
I went there. I order, your mom would tell you, almost once, twice a week. It just depends on how my schedule is. The food is amazing. And I am so proud of what you did for our community and educating us on eating healthy and it's bomb good at the same time.
And I didn't
So-
pay her to say that.
She didn't pay me. It's not a paid advertisement,
That
but it is good.
the dope boys days numbered in that area because that's gonna be the next Brickle.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, that whole area, like that whole area, gonna be the next Brickle.
I definitely love that you all are prideful about your work, that you know now that you have value in what it is that you do. And so I know I mentioned something earlier about it costs, well, you know, something costing you. And there's a phrase that I've always known of, your new life is going to cost you your old one. And so for you all, what old life or old perspectives, beliefs, attitudes, whatever the case may be, have you had to kind of put down so that you can have the life that you're living currently?
The nightlife. I was standing on couches,
Standing on couches.
Ciroc to the head. Man, listen, boy. I can't do it no more though. Like when you hanging out all night, drinking and doing what you're doing, now you gotta get up and roll up and get these kids up for school and still go to these meetings and these consultations with people, and you ain't even all the way 100. Like you ain't your best self, and how you gonna add value to somebody else and you ain't your best self? You know what I'm saying? So I had to give her that night. Like me and my wife still struggle with it because she want to turn up some night and I be like, I can't. You a granddaddy. You a grandpa. But that comes with it. Like she said, sometimes you gotta starve, and that's an area that I just. I know me. Like I got an addictive spirit. So when I go out and I love something, I like it. It's up.
That's all right. At least you know.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I think one of mine is professionalism, image, because I am from the raw. So, so we can't go from 0 to 100
Real quick.
But I definitely, mine is patience, professionalism. I have to remain. My image is everything when it comes to these clients. They will search you. You mentioned on social media. I've sat down in rooms with individuals to get contracts, and they will pull you up from Facebook to Instagram. So you definitely have to be aware and cautious of what you're putting out into the atmosphere, into the community, into social media, and be aware of who's watching you at the same time. So your image, your everything matters, put it that way. So that's a big 360 with entrepreneurship, being the CEO, some things that we have to kind of change as we grow with our business as well.
For me, I think it's more so opening my mind. I remember as a younger kid just watching MSNBC and not paying attention to all those numbers at the bottom, watching CNN and not paying attention, not trying to pay attention. But I deal with a lot of older people, so that I'm able to have good conversation with them. I have to kind of, I have to conform and watch some of the things that they're watching. So I had to teach myself to kind of make it a habit of watching CNN. Now I watch it on the regular. Now I watch MSNBC on the regular. But just changing the norm, man. I'm not looking for the next video. I'm looking for the next breaking news about business opportunities and stuff like that. So I had to shift my mind. It's almost with the nightlife. You got to just change your mindset.
I would say my attitude, like I was a hothead. Like I was on go. Like, so you had to be. So, you had to be. And so I was just, as soon as I got offended, what? All of that. And so it's just like, now it's just like, that deep breath gonna get you through, So that had to die. Like that had to die because that was a part of me. And then it was like people knew that, oh, she weak right there. She vulnerable. You say this, you got her. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, no, you stronger than that, So those things don't get to me anymore. So I had to kill that.
Thank y'all so much for y'all wisdom, for y'all
John Lennon High
insight.
School, Lamara, Troy, John Lennon High School in the house.
Yes.
go Lancers, go Lancers.
We all went to, well, me,
Lancers.
and Troy all graduated from John I, but
at
Eno and
Class
I
of
were
05.
freshmen in the same class together,
Look at
so
that.
we've been friends for a long time.
We love a good lengthy connection.
We all got each other's phone numbers.
Yeah.
My
Be
my
strong,
favorite set. From
Okay,
my
look,
Incas,
supporting the brand,
Yeah.
showing off, yes. So thank you all so much for spending time with us tonight. Just giving your wisdom, your insight, just your perspective on a lot of things. We definitely appreciate it. Please make sure that you all are tapping in with all of them. Go get y'all some smoothies. Okay, tap in if you need some mental health needs. If you need some realtors, they up here. Get your stylists on. Just follow all of them. Support Black businesses as well. And stay tuned for our next panel as we talk to our old guests about how they're continuing to cultivate legacy in Palm Beach County.
Yeah.